Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive that's going to take us into the world of tin. Tin might not sound like the most exciting element at first glance, but
Oh, trust me, there are so many things about it that are just fascinating.
I completely agree. And today we're going to be drawing from a couple of really cool sources. We've got some excerpts from Wikipedia all about tin itself, and then this article that dives into the history of tin. I think you're going to be surprised by how tin's story is really intertwined with the story of human civilization itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It really showcases the ingenuity of humans and how they figured out how to harness the properties of tin, and sometimes even discovered some of its quirks along the way.
Like how tin helped build empires, or why it sometimes whispers when you bend it.
That one always gets me.
Right. And we'll also explore how tin's still a vital part of our modern world. So let's jump right in. Both of our sources talk about how tin was absolutely essential for the Bronze Age. Apparently, way back around 3500 BC, people in Mesopotamia and Turkey figured out that if you mix tin with copper, you create a much stronger metal.
Wrong. It's hard to overstate how significant that discovery was.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It totally revolutionized life as they knew it. Tools became so much more durable, weapons became much more effective. It's a perfect example of how material science played a huge role in the development of those early civilizations.
And you know what always fascinated me? That squeaky cry that you sometimes hear when you bend a piece of metal.
Oh, the tin cry.
Yeah.
That sound is actually the tin's crystal structure rearranging itself under stress. It's kind of like the metal is protesting as its molecular structure changes.
So we're literally hearing the metal transform at a microscopic level.
Exactly. It's like this hidden world revealing itself through sound.
That's wild. But tin can also be a bit sneaky sometimes, like with that whole tin pest thing.
Ah, yes, tin pest. That happens when tin gets too cold for too long. It basically transforms from its normal metallic form, which we call white tin, into this non-metallic form called gray tin. And gray tin is, well, it's brittle and crumbly. Not exactly what you want if you're relying on tin for something important.
Like buttons on military uniforms during a harsh Russian winter.
Exactly.
There's that story, maybe it's a legend, about Napoleon's troops during their retreat from Russia. Some people say that the extreme cold turned their tin buttons to dust.
It's a great story, and whether it's totally accurate or not, it really highlights the impact that tin pest can have. Just imagine the challenges people faced back then when they relied on tin. And then suddenly it starts crumbling in the cold.
They must have had to come up with some pretty creative solutions.
Absolutely.
So we've talked about how tin behaves in extreme cold. But our Wikipedia source also mentions something pretty interesting about tin at the atomic level.
Oh, yeah?
It says that tin has 10 stable isotopes, which is more than any other element.
That's a lot of isotopes.
And apparently it's because tin's atomic number, 50, is what they call a magic number in nuclear physics.
Magic number. It sounds kind of mystical,
Right.
but it's actually a pretty cool concept. Certain numbers of protons and neutrons in an atom's nucleus make it super stable. And tin, with its 50 protons, hits that sweet spot.
So it's like tin has this built-in stability at its core.
Exactly. And that stability affects how tin interacts with neutrons, which, believe it or not, makes it valuable in things like nuclear reactor design.
Wow. So from ancient tools to cutting-edge nuclear technology, tin has really been there through it all. But let's not forget about some of its more everyday uses. Our sources mention how tin is found naturally in a mineral called cassiterite.
And getting that tin out of the ground has been a human endeavor for a really long time. Think about early mining operations in places like Turkey and Egypt.
And then there's Cornwall, which became almost synonymous with tin production. I think I read somewhere that the name Cornwall might even be connected to the Latin word for tin, stannum.
It's amazing how tin's influence is woven into geography and language. If you trace its journey from mines to workshops to trade routes, it tells a story of global interconnectedness.
And speaking of trade routes, the Bronze Age must have seen a huge surge in demand for tin.
Oh, that's
Imagine the lengths people went to in order to get their hands on this metal.
Yeah.
It was the key to their technological advancement.
It was a commodity that shaped economies and drove exploration. And even though we might not be making bronze swords anymore, tin is still essential for so many modern technologies.
Like those thin layers of tin that coat steel cans.
Right. It helps prevent corrosion and keeps our food safe and fresh.
Tin, the unsung hero of our pantries.
That's a good one.
And then there's solder.
Yes. Solder, another crucial use for tin.
Our Wikipedia source mentioned that tin is a key ingredient in solder.
And that brings us to another chapter in tin's story, its versatility as an alloying element. Maybe you should dive into that next.
Sounds good to me. It's amazing how this ancient metal is still so relevant today. And it's like it's hiding in plain sight in so many things we use every day.
It really is. Like, just think about those tin cans in your pantry.
I have to admit, I don't usually give them much thought. They're just kind of there.
But they're actually a testament to tin's protective power. You know, they're actually made of steel, but they're coated with this thin layer of tin to stop them from corroding. That tin plating is what keeps your food safe and fresh for longer.
So tin is like the unsung hero of our pantries.
Exactly.
And what about solder? Our Wikipedia source mentioned that tin is a key component there, too.
Oh, yeah. Solder is thicker, important electronics. It's what joins all those tiny components together. For a long time, the go-to solder was a mixture of tin and lead.
Makes sense.
But then we learned more about how dangerous lead is,
Mm.
you know, especially its toxicity. So there's been a big push to switch to lead-free solders.
And I'm guessing those new solders use more tin.
You got it. They often use a much higher percentage of tin.
That's good to know. But our source also mentioned that these lead-free solders aren't perfect either. Something about tin whiskers.
Ah, yes. The infamous tin whiskers. These are tiny little filaments that can grow out of the solder over time, and they can cause short circuits in electronics, which is obviously not ideal.
Definitely not.
It's a challenge that engineers are still trying to solve as we move towards using more sustainable and safer materials.
So even with something as seemingly simple as tin, there's this constant quest to improve it and understand how it behaves in different situations.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that material science is always evolving. We're always looking for ways to improve performance and avoid any unintended consequences.
And speaking of tin's versatility,
Mm-hmm.
remember those beautiful pewter ornaments and tableware?
Oh, yeah?
Our history source talked about how pewter, which is mostly made of tin, has been a popular material for centuries.
And of course, we can't forget about bronze,
Right.
the alloy that kickstarted the Bronze Age. It's still used today, although for more specialized things, like some musical instruments, for example. The acoustic properties of bronze are really unique.
It's fascinating how materials from ancient times are still relevant in our modern world.
It really speaks to tin's enduring legacy and its ability to adapt to different needs. It's even used in cutting-edge applications like superconducting magnets. Those are crucial in MRI machines.
Superconducting maggots. I had no idea tin was involved in something that high-tech.
It's pretty cool. When you combine tin with niobium, you create a compound that becomes superconducting at really low temperatures.
What does superconducting even mean?
Basically, it means that electricity can flow through it with zero resistance. And that allows us to create super powerful magnets that are much smaller and more efficient than traditional electromagnets.
So tin has these hidden superpowers that come out at low temperatures.
You could say that.
And to think it's also used in something as ordinary as making window glass.
That's right. Molten glass is often floated on a bath of molten tin to create a perfectly smooth and flat surface.
Oh, wow.
It's called the float glass process, and it totally revolutionized how we make windows.
So we have tin to thank for our clear and energy-efficient windows.
Pretty much.
Seems like tin is everywhere. And we haven't even talked about those organotin compounds. Our Wikipedia excerpt mentioned those.
Oh, yeah.
They seem to have a ton of applications.
They do. From stabilizing PVC to acting as biocides.
What exactly are organotin compounds?
Well, they involve bonding tin with organic molecules, which creates this whole new category of materials with all sorts of different properties.
That sounds really complex. But our source also mentioned that some of these organotin compounds can be toxic.
That's true. Some of them were used as pesticides and to stop marine organisms from growing on ships' hulls. But as we learned more about their impact on the environment, especially on marine life, a lot of countries restricted or banned their use.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder that even when we're using something that seems harmless like pen, we still have to be careful about its potential impact on the environment.
It's all about finding that balance between innovation and responsible use.
Absolutely.
And speaking of innovation, tin is actually making waves in another cutting-edge field, lithium-ion batteries.
Batteries, really?
Yep. Researchers are looking into using tin as a material for anodes in lithium-ion batteries.
Those are the batteries that power everything these days, from our phones to electric cars.
Exactly.
So tin could be powering our future.
It's definitely a possibility. Tin has some properties that make it a promising candidate, especially its ability to store and release lithium ions.
That's pretty incredible. We've covered so much ground today, from ancient bronze to futuristic batteries. Tin has really shaped our world.
It has. It's been with us every step of the way.
And it sounds like its journey is far from over.
Not even close. While we've explored tin's past and present, the future holds even more exciting possibilities.
I can't wait to see what we discover next about this versatile element.
Me neither.
So we've seen how tin took us from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age. And now it sounds like it could be key to all sorts of future technologies.
Exactly.
What does the future actually hold for tin? Any guesses on where this versatile element might take us next?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can say that there's a big push right now to make tin production more sustainable.
That makes sense. Our sources did mention that we might actually run out of tin in a few decades if we keep using it at the current rate.
That's right. So we need to get better at recycling tin, and we need to explore new mining technologies that are less harmful to the environment.
I agree. But the future of tin isn't just about how much we have. It's also about finding new and innovative ways to use it.
Exactly.
Our Wikipedia source talked about some pretty high-tech uses for tin, like in those extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, the ones they use to make computer chips.
Oh, yeah, those are fascinating.
It sounded incredibly complex.
It is. They basically use tin in a plasma state to create super precise ultraviolet light, which is what they need to etch tiny patterns onto silicon wafers. Those are the building blocks of our computer chips.
So tin is literally helping to shape the future of computing.
In a way, yes. And that's just one example. Researchers are also looking into using tin in nanotechnology, where its unique properties at the nanoscale could lead to all sorts of breakthroughs.
Nanotechnology. So we're talking about manipulating tin at the atomic level.
Pretty much. Imagine using tin atoms to build tiny structures with incredible properties, like super strong and lightweight materials,
Yeah.
or incredibly sensitive sensors, or even new ways to deliver drugs directly to specific cells in the body.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. It's like tin has all this hidden potential.
It really does, even after thousands of years of human use.
That's what's so amazing about scientific exploration. There's always more to learn, more to discover, even with elements we think we know well.
Absolutely.
So who knows what the future holds for tin?
Maybe it'll play a key role in renewable energy, or maybe it'll revolutionize space travel. The possibilities are endless.
It's inspiring to think about how this element, that seems so simple at first glance, has had such a profound impact on our past, and how it continues to shape our present and future.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the world of tin, I'd like to leave you with a question to think about. What role do you think this versatile element will play in shaping the world around us? It's something worth pondering.
It is. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of tin. We hope you learned something new today, and maybe even gain a new appreciation for this often overlooked element. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic. Until then, stay curious.